Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and I've made a new pick a card read for you. This time it's past, present and future of your love life. Now the past part is probably something long ago, something that's got something to do with your love life right now, what's going on in your love life and not going on in your love life right now. The present part is, of course, the deeper aspects of what's going on for you right now in your love life. And the future part of it will be in a deeper dive, as usual, what's coming into your life. So that's going to be in an extended reading. So I've made the 3 readings here. And toward the end of each of these readings, you'll see a link popping up there for the future part of it. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments below as well for that future part. And that's where you can also find your timestamps as well to jump ahead to your reading. So all you need to do now is take your pick. Which one do you want? Oh, by the way, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you get into it is good. Would you like the crystal? I can't remember what kind of crystal this is. I think it's some kind of a moonstone, but I don't know. Can't remember. Would you like the flower? Gorgeous. Or would you like the shell? This is a pippy. Or has this got another name? Do you know these shells? Call them pippies in Australia. I'm not sure about what they're called here in Thailand. So take your pick now. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well. Click on that subscribe button along with that notification bell to hear more from me as well. I do a daily energy update. I do 3 of these Love Pick a Card reads a week. I do random twin flame readings for the star signs as well. And I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads for donations. Come along sometime. We'd love to give you a mini read in there. So enjoy your reading. I'll see you in there. So if you chose the crystal, then this one's for you. Crystals, let's find out the past of your love life. So some significant point in the past in your love life that has something to do with what's going on in your love life now. It could be in the current connection that you're in at the moment, but it might be long ago past stuff with other people that has something to do with what's going on now. The present, what's going on now and what's behind all of that. And as usual, there's going to be a deeper dive to this, a standard reading that goes with it, that goes into the future, what's coming in for you. So if you find that the past and the present part is your story, it might be your story, you might want to get that future part of it as well. If you do, then toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments below. Well, let's get some cards out for your first, crystals, about what this reading is all going to be about. Right, some general cards out first. What's going on? What are the guides going to tell you about, crystals, about your love life? What is this all about? Guides, what are you wanting to tell crystals about the love life? Perhaps something about the slowness of it. 2 cards came out for you. Let's see what they are. Crystals, you have threefold protection and sharing your wisdom. Oh, now you have been learning in your love life how to protect yourself through a series of kind of love life failures. But in order to share your wisdom, in order to gain wisdom, it's not just for other people, it's for you to gain the wisdom yourself about that, to know yourself better and all of that. But it's almost like your soul chose like an earlier path in your love life to have lots of different experiences, a lot of disappointments perhaps. But through that, you've gained a lot of wisdom about yourself, about your love life, perhaps about other people too. You've been protected along the way, kind of thing. Not from getting into those experiences, but from almost getting into like too comfortable a love life in order to gain this wisdom. So it could be that you're a soul who is very much concerned, interested in having an excellent relationship. And so you don't want to do it just like normally. Your soul doesn't want to just do it normally and have acceptable kind of thing. You wanted to go through a lot in order to decide what would be a really good relationship. So you had a lot to experience of what you don't want in a way. But I'm feeling that this makes you more picky. And that's a good thing. You're more picky than other people. Your friends might be telling you that. But you know that it's right. I mean, why settle for less, really? Especially when you've been through a lot, right? If they haven't been through all of those things, yeah, well, maybe they can go out with anyone and love that kind of thing. But when we've been through some of the worst experiences, of course it makes us more choosy about who we're with, because we've learned so much about ourselves. Synchronicity. So the synchronicity is happening. And perhaps that is about you always getting confirmation that like that this one is for you and this one is the right relationship and it's this is your person all along the way. And it's like, guides, what are you doing? Know yourself. Why do you keep on confirming when it's just another lesson relationship and making me think that it's the one this time? It could be about that. You could have been having lots of synchronicities. And if that's the case, that means it's not your guides trying to fool you. It's the guides wanted wanted you to be in those experiences. Persevere, you've got something really good coming. So, crystals, you guys, you have had some of the worst of it in relationships, and it's all because somehow your soul has got some sadistic pleasure out of wanting to create a much better relationship experience than most people have. So let's focus on the past now. Some significant point in the past that has something to do with what's going on in your love life right now. Tell us, guys. Tell us about the past for crystals that's got a significance with what they're going through right now. Two of Pentacles, things being up in the air, like never getting a straight answer from somebody. People leaving you hanging on. People kind of juggling. Excuse me while I let the cat out. People kind of perhaps juggling you with someone else, yes, but I'm not feeling that. Although that could have happened. It's more like never giving you a straight answer, never letting you know where you stand properly, that kind of thing. The Sun. Your inner child being happy. Let's get to the bottom of this then. So, Two of Pentacles. Why do we have the Two of Pentacles here? Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So it seems that we're talking about a relationship here that you got into where someone wasn't giving you the full story, although there was a promise of, not a promise, no. There was a possibility of something really big coming from it. It's someone that made you very happy when you were with them and made your inner child really happy. So you had a great time with them. And on the surface of it, it seemed like you could have something really big with them. Like, you might have said, like, we're perfect for each other. This could be really good. But perhaps there was something going on with that person where they weren't being upfront with you. They weren't in it completely. You had a great time when you were together, but then they would draw back and they would go off and do something else or someone else. And it was very confusing to you. It's like, well, why wouldn't they choose me when we have such a great time together? There was something lacking in them. There was something that they hadn't figured out emotionally about them. They weren't choosing it, not because it wasn't the best. Yes, you could have had the best together, and I think you know that. And it wasn't about that. It's that they were at a different stage of their life, is what I'm getting. So if they hadn't done all of that emotional work that you'd done to realize that this could be really good, then it actually couldn't have been really good, because they're always going to be in this emotional juggling you place. Have you ever been onto a good thing in anything in life? I'm not talking about relationships, but you can see looking back that it was a really good thing, and you're like, why didn't I take up that opportunity? But you look back thinking, it's because I wasn't ready. It was because I was still a shell of myself, or, I wasn't confident enough back then. That's what they're like. That's what they're like, or what they were like then. Probably still are, in fact, but they just weren't ready for it. They weren't in that place where they were emotionally, is what I'm getting, emotionally competent or comfortable enough to accept it. In other words, you kind of made them feel not good enough in a way. There was a part of them that realized that they weren't good enough for that relationship. They could probably see that it'd be really good, just as you could in the past, of a great opportunity that you had that you didn't take up to, but they just weren't emotionally ready for it. So on the surface of it, joy on the surface of it, it could have been so good. It's like that Adele song, we could have had it all. And you can see that, but you can't have it all with someone that hasn't done the inner work. You can't. You can wish as much as you like that they've done the inner work, but if they haven't, then they haven't. And they need to have done it before they come into a relationship as well. because that's when the matchy happens, right? So they made your inner child happy, and this could have been really confusing to you because you had a great time when you were together, and like, why can't they just let it be good? Why do they have to make it bad? Why does there suddenly have to be a problem? When if we just were together and be happy like that, all would be good. But you see, then you're not recognizing what's going on inside of them. They could be having a good time with you and then suddenly feel guilty. You know, you just don't know the repercussions inside of them of what was going on. And so it was their emotional state behind that had them pulling away from it. So I've got the Sun here. They made you really happy, but yeah, perhaps making someone else really happy. And they could have been really undecided. In fact, this person could have turned away from you and gone towards someone else, and it not making any sense. And you might have seen, like, they can't have as good a relationship with that person, but perhaps they can, you see, because perhaps the other person, although not as good as you, and you could see that, they were at a similar emotional place. They were more of a match to them. And so it could be now that what's going on now, I don't know what's going on now, but you're needing to realize what you've got going on now has got something to do with this. So you recognizing what level you're at emotionally and developmental wise inside of yourself, and stopping thinking that the external or how it looks on paper, this is not even how it looks on paper, this is how it felt when you were together, because it was really good. But like I said, they had emotional repercussions from it, and you weren't getting that, because you'd be together, be really happy, and then be like feeling great after it. You'd be together, they'd be really happy, and then they wouldn't be feeling really great about it afterward. And that's on them, that's not on you, right? So movement into balance, that is. So they went off with someone else, and they chose someone else instead. And it was because that was more of a balance to them. That was more of a balance. In other words, they couldn't take the good time with you because they hadn't earned it yet by doing the inner work to get there emotionally. You were ready for that, and you need to recognize that. So at this point in the past, tell us more about that. Forgiveness. You need to forgive them. They weren't right for you. Perhaps they could kind of pretend that they were there. No, I think it's more that I don't think you were imagining that they were there, that they had done the inner work. You could probably see that they hadn't, but I think there was probably a hope in you that they would do the inner work, or that they could do the inner work. It takes crashes, hard times, aloneness to do that inner work. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. It couldn't have got sorted out. Now, there might still be a part of you that thinks that could have been, we could have had it all. And you need to recognize, no, you can't. You can't have it all with someone that hasn't done the work. This is about you knowing where you're at. It's hard, isn't it? Because how can you tell if someone's done the work or not? If they've done that inner work, if they've been how can you tell if someone's emotionally mature or have got some wisdom about themselves? Well, you can tell, but it's not on the surface. Like, they don't have a degree in it or whatever. You know, you can only tell by being with them, by having those experiences with them, and perhaps talking to them about it as well. Now, just because you can have a good time with someone doesn't mean that they've done that, you know. Perhaps when you talk to this person, they weren't there, and you were having to counsel them or teach them about it, and they weren't getting it. Tell us more. Tell us more about this thing in the past. You can't do the work for both of you. Even if all the other things about them make you really happy, you can't do that inner work for both of you. Find a balance. Perhaps you thought you balanced this person up because then you had the inner stuff going and they didn't, but they had other stuff going, and you thought that was a good mix. But the inner work is just so important. This reading is obviously about the importance of recognizing who is your match on the inner work. What else about this past relationship thing? Strings attached. There were strings attached. There was something that you needed to give up in order to be with them. And it could have been, they could have been slightly manipulative. They could have been slightly manipulative, that person. It wasn't as good as it seemed, was it? What else? Tenderness. You did have good times though, but it was a mistake. Going down the wrong path. Right, and so threefold protection again. You needed to have that experience to share your wisdom, to gain the wisdom from it, but threefold protection, it was taken away from you. The universe protected you from it. It was a mistake. You were going in the wrong direction. Just wrong way, go back, don't worry. Not a huge mistake. You're not going to be punished for it or anything like that. But it wasn't for you, and the universe needed you to be in it, and then it needed you to be out of it. Tell us about your heart back then. What else back then? No, this could have been long ago. Take a chance on love. You took a chance on it though, and you wanted them to take a chance on it. You thought it could have been really good, but it would have been you settling. Love who you are. It was one step closer. You're divine, delightful, and deserving of the wonderful things life has to offer. And although it appeared on the surface that this person did have wonderful things for you to offer, you've got more, you've got better, you've got more wonderful things on offer on the way. So you want to take a chance on it, but it wasn't right for you. So, and that could have been being more real about it as well, and realizing you're out of their league. You are out of their league. Okay. So that's the past. Now, what's going on in your present love life that has something to do with this? What's going on for crystals right now in the love life that has something to do with this? The Chariot. You're being pulled in two directions. So you might have someone new in your life now and you're unsure about it because of this. Page of Wands. Start of something new. Very exciting. There could be something about your new person that is reminding you of that past person. And so the fears and the worries that come up from that could be coming through. What if they haven't done the inner work? What if they aren't aligned with me? Well, I don't think it's that you'd be asking, because I'm getting, now I've told you that, you might be on that page, but what I was getting from this is that you were thinking that you could have had it all. And so if you're with someone now, or you've got someone in your sights, you might be thinking, well, what if this one doesn't eventuate too? What if I'm really happy with this one and then I just leave like that one did? What if this one's perfect for me too? That one was perfect for me and they just left. We could have had it all. But now I've told you what I've told you about that past. They weren't a match to you. The inner work wasn't there, and that's really important. Now that gives you something more to go on, right? The Chariot, anyway, pulled in two directions at the moment about this. So you're to and froing. 1 minute you're like, yep, they are the person for me. I want them. It's all looking good. You're getting all this confirmation and everything. You're like, oh God, I got the confirmation last time and it all felt good last time in this past thing. And then it got taken away from me. The Chariot. Why have we got the Chariot? Too many. Why have we got the Chariot? Whew. Eating my heart. We have the Chariot because he wishes. So this is a strong desire. You're very hopeful about it. So you're probably 60-40 at the moment. You've got all this desire and it's like, yes, this seems really positive. And then there's this fear that kicks in and you pull away and you're like, I should just let this one go. Who am I fooling? What's behind this? Too many. What's behind this? Just one, please. Honoring your energy. Interesting. So you're listening to yourself, the pullback. is listening to yourself and the objections that your inner self has. Not your inner self, not your higher self, but your ego self. The little voice inside that's honoring your energy, going, there's something scary about this. There's something up with this. I don't know what it is, but there's something up with this. And what's up with it is that you've got evidence in the past that you can feel like this, and then it can all go wrong. And so what it's really about is this past thing. You needing to recognize they weren't right for me. They hadn't done that inner work. Page of Wands, it's very exciting. You know, because when you can get clear on this person from the past, you've got more chance of being clear about this one. You got more chance of like looking at your person now, going, well, they appear to have done the inner work. They appear to be able to handle themselves. I don't know. You can't be sure of that until you've had more and more experiences with that person, and you get more intimate, and then they reveal their true selves. It takes time to get to the true person that's behind it, but it's very exciting. Page of Wands, this one. Very exciting, but so was that one, hey? So there could be something, a lot, in fact, that reminds you with this one about that one. There'll be a lot of attraction as well with that Page of Wands. By the Page of Wands, Justice, this seems like your person. So you've got a lot of confirmation here that this is your person this time, but then you did last time, didn't you? You did last time because the universe needed you to get into that relationship for some reason. You've got some lessons from that relationship. You got wisdom from it. It's change. It is different, this one. It's not the same. You need to recognize that. So focus on what the differences are, not in the similarities. So the similarities between this one and that one are scaring you. Notice more the differences between this one and that one, and then you're not going to be so scared. So the circumstances and the synchronicities and the cards, perhaps, and the readings saying, yeah, this is the one, that could be similar to last time. How they make you feel, how they make your inner child feel, all of that kind of thing, that might be similar too. But look at the people themselves. What are they showing you that's different about them? Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. What if this is completely different? What if your fears aren't even true? Reveal what needs to be seen. And that's what I think needs to happen, is that you just need to give this more time to be revealed what needs to be seen. You don't need to make your mind up. You don't need to say this is the one or this isn't the one. You just need to say, well, this is a new experience and it is different than last time, and I need to keep on with this experience and keep on moving into it, more and more into it, and going along with it to find out if it is this time. Just to find out, to be in it, to find out. You don't need to decide whether this is it or not before you get into it. And I know that's what a lot of people come into the readings for, because you've got a fear of it not being it. You don't really want to invest, and it's it. And so you want that confirmation. Just tell me, is this the one or not? So, because I don't want to invest if it's not, because I'm afraid of being hurt. But you see, you can't have that. And when you're asking that, that's why the guys say, oh yes, well yes, then it's the one. Because they want you, because you need to get into that relationship to have that lesson, to learn more about yourself, to be ready for the one that is the one, so that you become the one that can have that relationship. This is a supportive relationship, this one that you're focused on right now, and perhaps equally so, but you've been heartbroken in the past around your self-worth. So you didn't feel, that's good too. Notice not just the differences between this person and that person, but also notice the difference in yourself. Who were you back then when you got together with them? Because you're different now. So your self-worth has raised considerably. You're feeling better about yourself. So of course it's going to be different. Who you're choosing now, of course, is going to be different because of that. So heartbreak that you've been through in the past led you to greater self-worth, and that's who you are now. So yes, this person is going to be different. They are different. It's a change from the past. What else? Happiness. Oh, but that one made me happy too. isn't it tricky, right? When you've had a good relationship, you think we want good relationships, but then when we let them go, it leaves us with more baggage than ever. This one makes you happy, and you can imagine being happy with them, right? You could have it all with this one, hey? Yes. I get it now, crystals. Why is this story of this reading? Yeah, but I was happy last time and it led to pain, so much pain, because when you've really loved and when you were really happy, when that gets taken away, it hurts so bad. Be willing to express love. You're not at the moment. Not willing to express love at the moment, feeling very vulnerable. Look to your inner strength. You're having to tap into inner strength to even go there. So your fear is stopping you from going there at the moment. That's what's going on right now. That sounds like it is your story. It could be a story. Then you might want to get that deeper dive to find the future part. I'm just going to do the same thing again, but for the future. We'll probably get a timeline card out as well, if that is applicable to the future part of it. Let's see where this is headed. How is this going to pan out? Let's find out. If you're interested in that, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments below. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant watch kind of a thing. Type your email address in very carefully, otherwise you're not going to receive it. Now, that email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder. Once you find that email, you'll see in the email there's a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. You click on that crystal on a device where you can open PDFs. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video. And when you click on that, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, then just click on a different device and it will. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well. Really helps my channel out when you do that stuff. Click on the subscribe button with that notification bell down there to hear more from me. I do a daily energy update every single day of the year. I do random star sign twin flame reads too. I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show. I'd love to give you a mini read in there, so come along sometime. And I do 3 of these love figure card reads a week as well. Check those out on my channel by clicking that subscribe button and that notification bell down there. So there you go. If this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. And if you're coming with me to the deeper dive, then I'll see you in there very shortly. If you chose the flower, then this one's for you. Flowers, let's find out about your past and your love life. So a significant point in your past that has something to do with what's going on in your love life right now. It might be in your current connection, it might be from long ago, but it has something to do with the story that's going on for you right now. Let's look at the present, what's going on in your love life now, what's behind all of that. And as usual, flowers, there'll be a deeper dive, an extended reading that goes with this, which is the future part of it. So I'll just do the same thing again with what's coming in. If you are interested in that future part of it, toward the end of this reading, I'll be popping a link for it up there. There's a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. So let's get some general cards out first to find out what this reading is all about for you. Beauty of age, perhaps older, mature kind of relationship, mature, some kind of maturing going on there. Let's see. Ooh. Perhaps at your age now, you might be wanting different things from relationships than you previously wanted before. Resilience. More resilient. We're more easygoing when we get older, aren't we? We know ourselves better. We're not into the drama so much. You know, sometimes young guys want to go out with me, and why do they want to go out with an older woman? Well, they want to go out with an older woman because there's less drama, because the older woman knows herself and all of that. Well, they're the exact same reasons that I want to go out with someone that's my peer group too, and not go out with these younger guys too. Because whether they like it or not, they do have all of that drama and that stuff going on, and so they don't deserve an older woman. Let's put it that way. Safety. This is about your safety. Don't be too proud to go back to shore. Don't be too proud to go back on something. Now, if you are resilience as well. Some of you, I don't know, we'll see in the readings, but some of you might have got yourself into something that isn't on a par with you. You might just be realizing that it could be an age thing for some of you, or it could just be about a drama thing? Are you got involved with someone that's got drama in their life, and is it a sign? We'll see anyway what comes out in the reading. So that's what it's all about. How mysterious. Keeping yourself safe, but being resilient. Okay, some significant point in the past for flowers that has something to do with this reading. The Five of Wands. That's a competitive kind of a thing. Competing for someone, perhaps. Were you competing for someone? Did someone that you were interested in have a choice between you and someone else, and you were competing with them? That can have us just wanting to win instead of realizing that someone isn't right for us. What else? Knight of Wands, bit of a player kind of an energy here. Knight of Wands. It could be someone that has, I've seen guys like this. There's one around here at the moment. He likes girls to fight over him. Then he doesn't have to put any work in because they're doing all the work between them. They compete with each other, these girls, and for him, and he literally doesn't have to make any effort because of it. Was it something like that? Five of Wands, what was this competition? Muse of Voices, so they had clarity. The Chariot, but being pulled in two directions, yeah. So yeah, you were in competition with somebody else. And so it was, and they knew exactly what they were doing. Muse of Voices, so that's the King of Swords. They knew what they were doing. So it's someone who knows. It's like if you were like a boss of a company, right? And you were trying to motivate your people. You might realize that you don't need to motivate them yourself. What you could do instead is just have the lure of a certain promotion and just tell them, well, one of you might be up for a promotion if you do this. And then they compete against each other. You can just sit back, put your feet up on the desk, hands behind the head, and just let them motivate each other kind of thing while you're being really lazy. That's what this person was doing. Very specifically having you in a third party, because knowing that they can then be lazy, so that because you're competing with them will have you not requiring anything from them. Like they don't need to, they're not competing with you then kind of thing. They're not having to, you saying, is this right for me? Are they taking me out on dates? Are they doing these things? Are they investing in it? Then you're just more focused on the competition and trying to win this so-called prize without realizing the prize is no prize at all. Because, the boss sits back in the desk and puts their feet up, and all they've given them is there might be a promotion in it for you. For somebody, there might be a promotion in it for somebody. There might be a relationship in this for somebody, but probably not. Probably not, because they like this triangulation. It works for them. It's triangulation and it works for them. It's transformation behind that. You going through this experience transformed you. You might have, if you realize what was going on afterwards, you might have been ashamed of yourself for playing this game. Not that you should be ashamed of yourself, but feeling foolish. The Knight of Wands, it was a player. It's like if you've got kids and you want them to do a job like that, they don't want to clean up the room, but if you say to them, whoever cleans up the room fastest gets this treat, right? You get them to it's a motivation. But if someone realizes that they can do that and that they get what they get the needs met in relationships or whatever it is, sexual needs met or whatever, but only if they have two people on the go all the time. Otherwise there's way too much effort. They don't want to invest emotionally into it or anything like that. They don't want to put the effort in to have an actual relationship, but they know if they have two, they compete against each other, and then they're always getting attention from the two, getting more attention than they deserve because they're in that competitive thing that's playing. Knight of Wands. Make it into a game. If you want your kids to do something, make it into a game. If you want your friends to do something, make it into a game. So the Knight of Wands and the Four of Materials, holding your energy back from that. So at some point you've realized and you've pulled back from it. You've realized that you were in this game and that the prize wasn't a prize at all. What you're winning, you get to stay in the game. They'll bring someone else into it. Whew. Best to step out of that, hold your energy back, but you were clinging to them. Like, you know, that trauma bonding that we do is the weirdest thing, hey, but we do it. It's like the worst people, when the worst things for us, like the addictions, the things that are worst for us, the worst food for us, are the ones that we cling to. They're the ones we get addicted to, the ones that we hold on to so much. And when it's in relationships, it's the people that treat us the worst that we want to cling on to most. It's this weird thing that we do. What's behind this? Anger. Angry toward this person for the game that they had you in. Anger toward yourself for playing along with that game, however long you played that game. Anger of the game in itself, that they never moved on from that. Of course they wouldn't. They had complete clarity of what they were doing. If you thought you won, if you could win out, they choose you over the other person, and then you have like a relationship with them. That's not going to happen. What a terrible situation. I'm sorry that you went through that, but maybe we all do. Kind of seems familiar to me. Blows my mind when I see it now. I can see it playing out now. I'm like, what are they doing? It's not that nice. Passion. It was all about passion. That's the needs that this person was getting met. They were getting the passion and a lot of attention in the easiest way possible, the laziest way possible, by having two people into competition with each other. Okay, tell us more. It's like that. It's like a high school thing. Hey, like the best looking guy in the year competing for them. When you get older, they turn like, it's always like the ones that weren't that good looking that are good looking when they're older, right? And the ones that were the best looking in school, they're like hideous when they get in the 30s. Don't you find that, or is that just my school? I don't know. You just see the big. You need to see the bigger picture here, and of course, you know, you're talking about a master manipulator here. They knew exactly what they were doing, so you got fooled. It is, you know, by this kind of people, it's easy to get fooled because they know how to play this game. It's like the catfishes and all of that. Like, what should we do? I was catfished once, right? And afterward, I was really mixed up about it. And I was like, I feel like such an idiot. I said to my friend, I feel like such an idiot believing him. Like this story that he made himself out to be, this perfect person, like the perfect person for me. He made himself out to be that, and I felt like such an idiot. And when I told her that, she said, Claire, you can't feel like an idiot for loving. You chose to love. And yeah, and then you learned it was lies and stuff, but don't beat yourself up for loving. You did the right thing. And it's like, oh, okay, now you put it that way. See the big picture. What else? Forgiveness. Oh, that's hard to do. Forgive them. Nah, forgive yourself. Don't forgive them. That's a horrible thing to do. Manipulating people is not a nice thing to do. I think this is more about forgiveness of yourself. And so you might be feeling bad about how long it took you to realize. Or you could still have your eye on them and be watching them. So once you were out of the game, you're kind of still in the game, still emotionally invested and watching what was going on, wishing that happens with this kind of person too, is that exes hang around and they still kind of want them. You set it up like that so that everyone still wants them. No one can properly have them. Oh, Lord. Okay. Forgive yourself for that. For being duped. Openness. You were wide open. Like I said, which is a beautiful thing. As my friend told me, do not feel bad about loving. You did the right thing. But it's also the right thing to, once you notice that you're in a game like this, you're being played, you're being manipulated, to love yourself then and get the hell out of there. If you are still spying on them, or if you carried on still spying on them after that, stop. Self-worth. So the one, when you gain your self-worth from this, when you realize, what the hell am I doing, and you pull out of it, your self-worth raises from going through that experience. Because some people never get out of that game. Some people never gain the self-worth. They will keep on going for people like that, you know. Oh, wrong deck. I wanted this deck. Okay, where was your heart at back then? You were focused on love, looking for the good in everyone. Oh, you're looking for the good in everyone. And again, you know, that's not a bad thing, but it doesn't protect you, right? It doesn't keep you safe. Beauty of age, you've lived, you've learned. Resilience, you've got a lot of resilience to stick however long you stuck that out. It takes resilience, but you need to keep yourself safe now. Stop looking for the best in everyone and look at reality. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good people on this planet. Like, really aren't. So, and we need to wise up to that and be able to protect ourselves from that. So, what's going on in your love life right now, flowers? I need to be told about that one, to bring up that past, as embarrassing and shameful as it is. Shame-inducing, I should say, rather than shameful. Queen of Wands. Hey, good looking. You got it going on now. Oh, Ace of Wands. You got something passionate starting off. Okay. Well, there was a lot of passion in this one, so you could have fears coming up at the moment of this. The person you got your eye on, whatever starting off now, could be attracted to you because of what you're going on, because you've got going on, because you're very attractive right now. But the passion that you feel for them might make you think, oh God, it's another player. I'm about to get played again. Queen of Wands, you've got it going on. Good looking, got a lot going for you, the Empress. You've got your self-worth intact too, and you know what it is that you deserve. Good for you. Now, when you're in this energy, Queen of Wands and the Empress, that's great. You're very attractive. You're very attractive to everyone. Don't believe law of attraction teachers that tell you you will only attract good people when you're like that. No, you won't. You'll attract absolutely everybody. Absolutely everybody. When you're attractive. If you're a bright light, you attract the moths. You attract everything, right? Just have a YouTube channel and you'll find that out. But as you grow, this beauty of age, as you grow and you learn and you become the Empress, you learn to protect yourself, right? You learn to discern, you learn to not just see the best in everyone, you get to see reality. You learn how to empower yourself and say no to people. You learn how to respond to people that are just beneath you, beneath your experience, just it's behind this feminine energy. Beautiful. Wow. Powerful cards. The Queen of Wands, the Empress, and the feminine energy. Go you. You got something very exciting and very passionate starting off here. Ace of Wands, which is passion. The Ace of Wands is like the phallic symbol. And so it's chemistry, it's everything. There's the Queen of Wands again. So attractive. Now, that's what this person could have been doing. Could have been playing on the looks there. Playing on something. We've got to have something going for them, but it's going to be something very base, like looks, or something shallow, sexual prowess maybe, or just a nice car, a nice house. Some of them do that, right? Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands. We know you're the Queen of Wands right now. Tell us more about this Ace of Wands. Very attracted to somebody. You're like very attracted, but you're conflicted around the choice here of the love offer. So there's conflict around this. So you are like queen bee, and with all the honey and all the bees around you, you got your pick. There's one that's very attractive and you're like, oh my god, sirens are going off in my head because they're so attractive. I so want them, and does that mean it's wrong for me because of these past experiences? Does that make me fickle and am I just going for the surface stuff like I did with that person? Because they will have only just had surface stuff going on. You had nothing to offer that person, hey? Divine timing. Oh, it's divine timing for this new start for you. You're ready for it. Okay. Well, let's get deeper into this. Tell us more. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Right. Okay. You're very attracted to someone here. It's starting off. But you need to give them space. You need to let this flow slowly and give each other space. You don't need to cling to this person, right? Allow and give and let it develop. Now, because you're in competition with someone in the past, that's going to make you want to, once you've got them, cling to them kind of thing. Because think what you thought you were playing for in this person, what you thought you were competing for was there to be their girlfriend, to be their undivided attention, to be the one that they choose, just you, and then have a proper relationship with them, right? To be with them. And you wouldn't trust that person, like you wouldn't trust them to go and sleep at their mate's house or something like that. No way, even if they'd chosen you after that, or just no way, because you knew deep down that that's what they were like. So you would have wanted to be with that person every moment, like not ever let them go, stay at their own place even, because you knew that they'd be with someone else if they did that, right? This person would have been with someone else. And that fear could have you, because you're so attracted to them, you might think that everyone else is too. They might be thinking the same thing about you. But you need to let there be closeness between you, but give each other space as well. And your ego will be screaming, no, they'll sleep with someone else if you do that. It's a major fear here. What else? Oh, not that many. What else? What else? And what else? In the present for flowers. What else? Shine. Okay. So you're the Empress and you're double Queen of Wands. So you are extremely attractive right now. You're shining out there, like I said. Very attractive. You've got your pick right now. You need to know that. And that doesn't make you like this person. That doesn't, just because you got the pick doesn't mean that you are playing people off against each other. That's very different. But you've got your pick. And you need to know that and shine more so and be attractive and hold that energy and don't be afraid of that energy in yourself. It also could be a message of like, are they shining out to you as well? Is this balance? Keep the balance. Again, that feeling of like giving each other space needs to happen, and hope that this goes good in the right direction, right? Hold on to that hope, but don't cling to it to try and force it to be that. I'm talking to you, flowers, and I know you've been through very traumatic experiences. I can feel it, and you're like someone who's had a lot of car accidents or something might grip to that wheel tightly. I'm getting that same energy from you around relationships. Relationships are traumatic to you. It's a miracle that you're still loving, quite frankly. And good on you for doing that. Good on you for surviving all of that and still keeping your heart open. Good for you. Because you've had it really hard. And that's probably why you're in this Queen of Wands and this Empress energy, because it does make us very strong and beautiful people when we go through that stuff, right? Okay. Fear of commitment. Yeah. That's in you. You've got a fear of commitment. Locking it in because of betrayal in the past. You need to know that this is what is behind your fears, because you're having to deal with these past fears of all the past stuff that's gone on. That, of course, you got your heart open, you want to have a relationship, but you're so scared of getting into it because of all of this stuff that's gone on in the past. So it's just a matter of doing the same thing again. I'm sure you've done this before, having to deal with all of this stuff, all of these fears that come up over again in order to even get past this place of holding yourself back from this person. So you're right on the edge at the moment, aren't you? Considering getting into this or moving forward with someone, but all of these fears are coming up, and it could be really intense right now. Those fears are the most intense when we're on that threshold of it. Act as if your partner's here. This says, act as if your partner's here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they're with you, so you always consider them. Maybe you just need to do that. Maybe you need to convince yourself that you're already with them. Because these intense fears, they're not going to go away. Our ego will never go away because it needs to be there. It saves us from stuff. But yours is particularly strong because of the things that you've been through. And so you've got more to manage than most people in that, more fears to manage. And your inner child, let's put it that way, is screaming out, oh, I'm going to die here, I'm going to die. And you want to calm that inner child down. And if you're acting as if your partner's here, you might be soothing yourself like, I'm already in this relationship. You know, that might feel more soothing to yourself than the, oh God, I have to get over these fears to get into this relationship in the first place kind of thing. Whew, okay, it's intense. Flowers, if that sounds like it is your story, it could be a story, you might want to get the deeper dive to find out what's coming up for you in the future. How is this going to play out? Where's it going? Let's find out. If you're interested in that, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below. It's just 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant watch kind of a thing. Get your email address right, otherwise you're not going to receive it. Type that in very carefully. Now, the email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder. So check in those places for it. In that email, you'll see a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. You click on that flower on a device where you can open PDFs. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video. When you click on the picture of a video, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, then just try it on a different device and it will. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment. Really helps my channel out when you do that stuff. Click on the subscribe button along with that notification bell as well to hear more from me. I do a daily energy update. I do 3 of these Love Pack card reads a week. I do random star sign twin flame reads as well. And I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads. Come along sometime. I'd love to give you one. So if this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. And if you're coming with me to the deeper dive, then I'll see you in there very shortly. If you chose the shell and this one's for you, shells, let's find out your past, your present, your future of your love life. Now, the past part, it might not be about the past of a particular connection or someone you got your eye on at all. It might be long ago past, something that you've been through that has got something to do with what's going on in your love life at the moment or what's not going on in your love life at the moment. So take it as it resonates. And the present part, of course, it will go deeper into what's going on for you right now, what's behind all of that. And the future part will be in a deeper dive as usual, so an extended reading. So if you find that the past and the present is your story, you might want to get that future part, the extended reading. I'll be popping a link for it up there toward the end of the reading. And there's also a link for that in the description box and in the comments below as well. Okay, so let's get some general cards first to find out what this reading is all about. What is the general theme of all of this? What do they need to know about? What do shells need to know about? What's this reading all about? Pertaining to the love life. Let's see. Well, this is about growth. Your growth. You're growing. You're learning. Awesome. your growth. What else? It's about balance too. So you've been growing, you've been learning how to find balance in your life, perhaps between relationships and work, perhaps between partners kind of thing. You might have been in imbalanced relationships where you're giving a lot or giving everything and them not giving much back at all. And you're learning to find that balance there in yourself so that you can have balanced relationships. Empathy. Oh, interesting. You're empaths, are you? So that might have been working against you. Oh, that trap, that old codependence trap. Empaths can so get into that. You know, empathy can come about through trauma, because if you think about it, if you're growing up with a scary tiger in the room, aka possibly parent or someone who's dangerous around you, if there's a tiger in the room, what you're going to do? You're going to be focused on that tiger, right? You're going to be looking at that tiger and checking out whether that tiger is what kind of mood it's in, what kind of emotional state it's in, because you might need to run, you might need to hide if you notice that tiger like getting a bit antsy or getting a bit aggressive or whatever. And that might have been what you've learned to do, is focus on other people, always be tuning into other people's energies to try and keep yourself safe. You might have learned to do that to keep yourself safe, right? And then as an adult, you're like, oh, I'm an empath, I can do this thing. And it's like, well, yeah, you can, but should you? Because should you really be focused on everyone else's emotions to keep yourself safe? Or should you be focused on your own emotions to create the life of your dreams? Empaths can focus on other people way too much, and as a result, not focus on yourselves, because our focus can't be all over the place at the same time. You might not even be feeling your own emotions. I see that in some empaths, like really not tuning into their own guidance system for you, for your own life. Even though you've got these amazing gifts, you're not doing it for yourself. You're not tuning in for those yourself. So you're completely missing your emotional guidance because you won't feel your own feelings. Too busy feeling everyone else's feelings. How can you, if you've got a scary tiger in the room, feel your own feelings? You're going to be watching that tiger all the time. So, you've been growing from there. I presume you've already been learning something about this, how empathy can lead you into codependence in relationships. So all about them, all about what they want, what will grow them, what's best for them. And then you show up and you're like, oh, I'll be really good for them. And never once thinking about yourself and what you want in a relationship. Sound familiar? So tell us about the past, Shell's past. Lovers. The past lover we're talking about. What else? Ace of Pentacles, putting all the work in and reaping those rewards, or not. Tell us about the lovers. Why is the lovers here? So you had a lover, did you? You were in a relationship. Why is the lovers here? Oh God, with the devil. Uh-oh. Okay, with not a good person at all. Someone that was in their dark side predominantly. Someone that was in their pain, their trauma and all of that. Why doesn't that surprise me? Empaths get attracted to people with problems. Why? Because they're the scary tiger. So used to having to tune into the scary tiger in the room that when they show up, you're like, oh, the scary tiger, he's hot. And you don't realize you're doing it. It's completely subconscious. You attract what you're focused on. If you're focused on the scary tigers in the room, if you're constantly in your nervous system, I'm not saying you didn't mean to do this, but your nervous system is constantly telling you to look out for the dangers, that is a focus, and that is what's going to get you attracted to the wrong ones. So, you got attracted to someone who was in this traumatized state. Now, you might even be seeking out people like that. Oh, you've got problems? I would like to help you. I can heal you. I'm an empath, I can feel it. I know where you're at. And feeling that connection with them because of it. So you might actually be a devil's seeker as a result of it. Dangerous. That's dangerous. I know, it was me. It's dangerous. Sometimes we need to wake up. I needed to wake up from that and going, oh, hell, I'm attracted to them. They must be the most dangerous, abusive, narcissistic asshole in the room because I'm attracted to them. Sometimes you need to wake up for that, because what is attraction? Attraction is what feels familiar to us. It's what feels familiar to us, and so we get attracted to them. But you need to pick that apart, because it is not necessarily always going to be that way. Once you make it a conscious thing, like I did, like, oh God, I'm attracted to them, I'm definitely not going there. For long enough, once you stop yourself, you break that pattern of attraction, change your focus, and then your different parts of your attraction can come out. So then I did start getting attracted to different kinds of people then. But you need to be aware of that, is that you're like a devil-seeking missile when you're an empath like that. You're looking for the problems in people. You're looking for troubled people. Now, you might want to, like I have done, use these gifts to help people professionally. Do not do it in your friendships, don't do it in your family, and do not do it in romantic relationships. Most of all, don't do it in romantic relationships, but don't do it in the rest. Do not do this in personal relationship. Is not good for you. Don't be focused on someone else's emotional state in a relationship. Be focused on yours. You need to tune into your own emotional growth is behind that. So you grew from there. You got some lessons from it. Wow. It's all for nothing when you try to go into a relationship and try and fix them like that. Relationship with an abuser or narcissist or the devil, whatever, any kind of dark and traumatized energy. You're not going to win. Relationships, they should be with our equals, not with our opposites. You've got an opposite there. Why the Eight of Pentacles? Putting all the work in. The Lovers again. Put all the work in. You weren't reaping the rewards from it. A lot of work as well. I know it's a lot of work, because you have to be the mom, the therapist, the partner. You have to be the dad and the mom in that relationship. So you have to do it all, because they're not there. They're not conscious enough to do that. And so you end up not only having to do everything in the relationship, but also having to be the therapist and all of that too. Taking all that emotional burden on, trying to help them. It comes to nothing, because we can't do that. It's impossible to help someone. The only people that get helped are the ones that hit rock bottom, or have some very strong reason to want to seek help for themselves, and then they seek that help. And you will never be that person that they go to seek that help. If you're in a romantic relationship or a friendship with them, you are not the person that can help them. They have to go to professional help for that. You're not the person that can help them, and you need to know that. You are not in the place to help them if you are a lover with them. And so you put in so much work, but you were the lover, so you're not in a position. You just can't help them, and they weren't seeking out anyway. You were trying to push it on them. Because I know how it goes, empath. I know, because I've done it. What's behind this? And it's all for nothing. It's another way of putting it is enabling. It's like you notice that your dad is an alcoholic, your friend is an alcoholic, and they've got a problem with it, and that they need to face up to it. They're not facing up to it, but they need to. And then everyone gets together and like outs them and all of that, or what do they call it? Whatever it is that they call it, and you try and get help for them and everything, and it doesn't work out. They just relapse. It doesn't work out because it has to be instigated by them. It's not that people can't heal from that stuff, from anything, but they need to instigate it themselves. They've got to get to rock bottom. They cannot get to rock bottom with people around them that are enabling them, trying to help them out, just to keep them a little bit afloat. You stop them from getting down to the point where they have to be in order to go, this has to end, I need to do something about this, and then they seek out that help that will truly help them. Abundance is behind that. So you were putting a lot of work in, like physical work too, perhaps earning all the money. They could have been an addict as well. Addict, abuser, narcissist, it could have been all of them mixed in one. But you need to know that you were actually attracted to them. You're seeking them out because there's something in you, but there's a pattern in you that has given you this gift anyway, which of course has its positive benefits to it, but it also has a lot of negativity to it as well, until you've managed to put it in its place, realize what it is, put it in its place, and then use it in a way that is only beneficial for you and for them. And that takes a lot of discipline to do that too, especially when your heart just goes out to these people that are hurting, like it does. I know it does in you. Tell us more. Beware of what you're projecting. That's it. You're projecting on them as well. So you're like, you were wounded, right? But in a different way to them, or perhaps the same way as them, but you reacted to it differently. And you projected all over them. You're like, I know that they're a good person inside. They're just hurting. And why are you focused on them and their hurt? Who weren't you focused on? Your feelings, you being hurt. You need to take a step back, or you did. I don't know whether you have, because this is the past. You need to take a step back and go, it's me that's in need of healing. I'm the wounded one. Like, this empathy is a result of my wounding. And not project like they're such a great person. No, you're a great person. And you need to feel your own feelings and then heal yourself, help yourself out. All of this that you did for them, you need to do for yourself. It changed my life when I did that for myself. All the help that I was trying to give everybody, I just stopped and I'm like, oh, it's me that's messed up. Do it for myself. And it was super, super fast once I did it for myself. I was kind of healing myself until that point, but then when I realized, why am I wasting my time and my energy trying to fix other people? Because it never works. Why don't I just fix myself? Feel my own feelings. It's uncomfortable. Trying to avoid it, yeah. But empaths do too. Try and avoid their own feelings. Don't want to feel your own stuff, so you go feeling other people's feelings. But it was to keep me safe originally. What else? Be humble and speak your world into being. So there's some humility involved here, especially in that I need to heal myself. It's me that's got the problems. Because on the surface of it, some of these people, like, you know, if they've got like devil energy, so they've got an addiction or they've got something really wrong with them, or they're really aggressive or whatever, an abuser or whatever, it's more obvious in them that they need help, right? It's not so obvious in you because you pretty much hold it together and you can convince people that you're doing okay, but you're not okay. You're just really good at convincing people that you're okay. You're not doing okay if you're not feeling your own feelings and going about your life, getting your wishes met. If you focus trying to fix the world and fix everyone else, you're not okay. So be humble. It's you or your inner child. Think of it, if you really don't want to be focused on yourself, because you've probably got a lot of resistance to that, think of it as your inner child. It's your inner child that really needs helping. So be humble about that. It's not all about them, and they don't have it worse than you. They don't. Stop telling yourself that story. They don't have it worse than you. Everyone's got it as bad as each other. We heal ourselves and get ourselves out of that. You're the only person you can get out of that. Believe me, you're the only person you can get out of that. I can do this professionally and help you to, I'll give you the messages or whatever. You've still got to do it yourself. And anyway, you've sought me out because you're looking for these answers. I'm not anymore. I used to. I'm not going out there and trying to find people and put this stuff on them. I'm not doing that anymore. I used to when I was codependent. Speak your world into being. I'm not feeling this energy. I'm not feeling that. This is a be humble message there. So you're projecting yourself on them. And you were thinking they had it worse than you and they need more help. Even though there's like a million red flags there. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 caution bands there. Even though they were waving all the red flags around, you went there, didn't you? And tried to heal them instead of healing yourself. What else? I think I've already said all of it needs to come out here, but we'll keep on pulling cards out. Specialness and laughter. But they did have good things going for them as well, of course. Well, always the devil, right? They were special. And they made me laugh. And they deserve love too. And yeah, all of those things that you say to yourself about that, but you do. Remember? You're talking about yourself now. You deserve love too. So don't go out, have relationships with people like that. Have relationships with people that can love you. Don't go seeking out the devil. Get to know each other. Learn to meet another's need for love. The need to is that that's what we do as codependents. We get to know someone and learn to meet another's need for love, but we need to be doing that. There's a need within us to meet another person's need for love. We seek out the needy, the lowest, the needy ones, and then try and love them without realizing it was you that wasn't loved properly. It's your inner child that wasn't loved properly. It's why you do that in the first place. It's you that needs that healing. It's you that needs that love. You're the one that needs that love. You ain't ever going to get it from someone like this. It's you that needs that love. You've got to give yourself that love yourself, and then only get in relationships with people that can actually love you. So it is your need to meet someone's need for love. There's too many needs in there. You know what I mean, hey? So when we're codependent, we have this need to be needed. And we think it's our duty. I need to fix someone in order to be worthy of love. But those people, you aren't going to fix them. That's never going to work. And a person like that, that's a wreck, can't even love you. And anyway, you're a wreck and you can't even love them. You're a wreck and you can't even love them. But I was loving them, but you weren't. That's the thing. To love someone is loving them as they are. It's not trying to change them. When you're trying to heal someone, you're trying to change them. And yeah, it might be beneficial, but you're still trying to change them. That's not loving someone. Loving someone is just loving them as they are. So you need to get out there and find someone who you can love just as they are without any need to fix them. And you need to know that you're worthy of that love. How can you do that? Well, you need to love yourself first. It needs to be all about you. You need to focus on yourself, feel your own feelings here, and sort yourself out and heal yourself and all of that. Have to do that first before you can get into a healthy relationship. What else? No, I mean present. So what's in the present now? You got the Hermit. So that's you being by yourself. Good on you. So you have been doing the self-love thing. Chef, you're watching me. King of Pentacles. You're someone coming in now. Someone very stable. Husband material kind of thing. Could have. So the Hermit. There you are by yourself. Alone. Doing the inner work and stuff. Self-loving in your PJs. Shining brightly. Happy by yourself. Okay. What's behind this? Tell me why the Hermit's here. Page of Materials. Oh, you're dreaming of other things. You want more than that now. Okay, so you've been in this shell, Hermit kind of. I just picked the shell. So it's tightly closed. This one. But you're dreaming of more now. You're like, well, now I'm looking after myself, but I'm all alone, and I kind of want more experiences in my life now. So it would kind of be nice to have something more going on, perhaps friendships, relationships, perhaps something more exciting. You're dreaming things into being anyway. Page of Materials. I would like more. So you've been in this closed shell, tightly closed shell for a while, working on yourself, doing the self-love. Got yourself to this place of stability, but it's not stability out there, living life, having new experiences and all of that. It's more stability if I stay at home in my PJs. Yeah. So now you're at this stage of, I want more. I'd quite like to have a relationship. Creativity. So you're in this creative, like, okay, I've worked on myself enough to get to the point of kind of boredom and realize, perhaps I'm ready for a new experience in my life. Perhaps I'm ready to be stable and out there. Be stable and get to know someone. Be stable and let this King of Pentacles in my life. Who's this King of Pentacles? Ten of Voices. Painful ending. Ooh. Watch out. Watch out, codependent empath. Because, he appears so stable. Oh, does he really? Well, what about this? What about this painful ending he's going through? Is that stable? Are you sure? He's stable. He just has to go through this painful ending first. Well, that's not stable then. Have you got a painful ending going on at the moment? No, he has. Caution, caution, caution. What's behind this? You're thinking someone's stable here and they're not. Admit it. See it clearly. Look, it's right there. 10 of voices. Yes, they're headed into a new day. You're doing the same thing again. You focus on someone. You're telling yourself they're stable. They've got more stability about them than other people in the past, yes. But you found someone that's kind of wounded and they're going through something again. You're doing it again. Stop it. Be wary of yourself still as you're stepping out of this hermit mode. You will still have, as do I, the propensity to do that stuff again. You need to be switched on. You need to be very conscious when you're getting out there again. And I think you know that, right? When you're coming out of this hermit thing, you need to be super, super conscious of yourself and what you're getting into. And know it'd be so easy to fall back into old patterns. You need to be wary AF of yourself and your old patterns. You need to be like this. What are your red flags that you're waving? Be so conscious of those that when this shows up and you're telling yourself, oh, the King of Pentacles, oh, look, the angel there. No. Going through a painful ending, that is not stability. That is not stability. That's someone that's going through pain. That's a wounded person. You get attracted to them. It's like, oh, I can help them. Uh-oh, you're doing the same thing again. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to love and support someone in a relationship and they're not going to go through stuff, but if you're in a stable place there and you have got attracted to someone, watch out. Remember what I told you about attraction? It is familiar. You still find the familiar as broken, wounded and all of that, especially if you've been in hermit mode and loving yourself. You'll still be attracted to that stuff. It'll still feel familiar to you. So, transformation, your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. So this one's about to deepen, is it? This might be another lesson relationship for you. Not as bad as you've experienced in the past. Lighten up. It's not as bad as it was in the past. It's a lighter experience than you've had before. You have grown. Yes, you found more balance. You have. So you are going to have a different experience, but there's a bit more of the same in there for you. Be conscious of this. Now, I'm not saying that they won't get themselves out of this painful ending. I would go super slow with this. You need to be aware of this. Like, fess up in the comments below. They're going through a painful ending. So this is bullshit, isn't it? Sure, they might have lots of stability about them, but it's not the truth of it. They're not that stable person that you're pretending that they are. Now, they might be way more stable than anyone you've ever met before, yes, or been attracted to before. But I'm not saying that everyone needs to be perfect, but if someone's going through a painful ending, that is not the time to get into a relationship with them. Like I said, are you going through a painful ending? Just attracted to a person because they're going through something and you want to help them? Okay. What else in the present? But I feel a connection with them, Claire. Yeah, you will, because that's what attraction is. Got a soul connection, says the cards. Or so you think. Rule 1, by the way, we've got a soul connection with everybody. Control. Okay, here's a red flag. Control. Is that in yours or is that in them? Is this a controlling Is this a controlling person, or do you want to step in and sort them out because you think you know the answer to this? You think you know what would be best for them in their life. You want to step in and take control of the situation. Be honest with yourself there. It might be a mixture of both of them. You've been the fixer again, the rescuer. Bad attitude. Is that you? Using an infidelity. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Someone's got a bad attitude. Now, this could be you. Bad attitude. If this is you, you're using them. That is kind of what codependents do. use someone to feel better about themselves, try and help someone else out to feel better about themselves. It never works, but do feel better about themselves. Like, I did all that work, and it didn't work, but I did the right thing, and they weren't worthy of me or whatever, and they didn't do it. But it's kind of using, you don't realize it's enabling. We use people to feel better about ourselves by trying to help them, and with the help of the rescuer and all of that kind of codependent stuff. So it could be your bad attitude there. Now, infidelity, if this is you, it could be that, I'm not feeling it, but it could be I'm not feeling it. I'm not getting that infidelity. I was thinking about like you moving on from them, but I'm not getting it. Anyway, or if this is them, they've got a bad attitude and they just kind of want to use you as a stepping stone out of this painful ending that they've got. They will be unfaithful to you. You might have had those warning signals already. That flowed a lot better than trying to make it that it was about you. But I do feel like the control thing could be you, or is you. You're wanting to do the same thing again with this person. Have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. Where you're at the moment, having faith in this situation, but you just need to recognize that there's a lot similar in your current situation to that past situation, and it is a lot better because you've grown, yes, but there is more of the same in there, a little bit, not as much as before, but there is more of the same in there. You need to be super aware of that. You could get this lesson very quickly if you're aware of that. Well, what's coming in the future? If that sounds like it is your story, or could be your story, probably is if you're still watching, then what's coming in the future? You want to find out in that deeper dive? I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments below. I'm just going to do the same thing as I did here, but for the future. So get that. It's 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant watch kind of a thing. Get your email address right, type it in very carefully, otherwise you're not going to receive it. Now, that email might end up in your inbox, but it might end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder. So check in those places. In that email, you'll see a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. You click on that shell on a device where you can open PDFs. In that PDF, amongst other things, you'll see a picture of a video. When you click on the picture of a video, if it doesn't take you right away to a video, just try it on a different device, and it will. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like on this video down there. Leave a comment as well. Click that subscribe button along with that notification bell down there as well to hear more from me. I do a daily energy update. I do 3 of these Love Picker card reads a week. I do random twin flame reads for each star sign. And I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show where I give mini reads. Come along sometime. Get a mini read. So there you go. If this is where you're leaving me, good luck with all of this. And if you're coming with me to the deeper dive, then I'll see you in there very shortly.